Coming up on Tech Tonight, Bill Cosby is making headlines.
And Indonesia was struck by a tsunami. Find out the details next. Welcome to Tech Tonight. I'm Bailey Angle.
And I'm Rachel Van Meter. Sunday, the White House confirmed the murder of Peter Kassig, a former American aid worker and soldier who was beheaded by ISIS terrorists. President Barack Obama confirmed the death, saying Kassig was, quote, taken from us in an act of pure evil by a terrorist group that the world rightly associates with inhumanity, end quote. Kassig was doing aid work for the Syrian people, where he was captured and held hostage for over a year. Kassig converted to Islam in captivity and went by the name of Abdul Raham Kassig. He first traveled to the Middle East as a U.S. soldier and soon came back as a medical worker, passionate about helping the victims of war. Kassig founded a special emergency response and assistance non-governmental organization aiding Syrians fleeing the civil war. His family said he would deliver food and medical supplies within and outside of Syria and provided trauma care. Kassig's parents recognized the reports of their son's death and wish for privacy.
Tensions were high at the G20 Summit in Brisbane, Australia. Many Western leaders denounced Russian President Vladimir Putin for his country's aggressive presence in the Ukraine. President Obama openly called the Ukraine situation a threat to the world, while Canadian Prime Minister Stephen Harper told Putin face-to-face he should leave the country. Australian leaders pressured the Russian president to prosecute those who were responsible for the Malaysian Airlines Flight 17 crash. The plane was shot down over the Russian-influenced eastern Ukraine, resulting in 298 deaths, which included 38 Australians. Putin reeled back and fired accusations of his own. The Russian president claimed that U.S. and European economic sanctions defeated the purpose of the financial summit.
On November 8th, the Japanese Cultural Association Club hosted a Matsuri Festival. Marissa Handerhan has more on the story.
Hi, I'm Marissa Handerhan reporting for Tech Tonight. I'm here in the Squire Student Center, where in the Commonwealth Ballroom, the Japanese Cultural Association is celebrating its third annual Matsuri Festival.
JCA stands for the Japanese Culture Association, and our mission statement is to promote and raise cultural awareness for the Japanese culture.
In Japan, Matsuri is the word literally translated to festival in English, and in Japan it's to celebrate their gods, and they have banquets and offerings to gods, and they also have traditional dances.
We watched the traditional fan dance choreographed by Kevin Liu.
I just want to let people know how much fun you can have even if you're not Japanese. Most of the people in the organization for JCA in general isn't Japanese. So it doesn't matter if you're Japanese or not, as long as you have interest in Japanese culture in general, you can have a great time.
I believe it's more to spread cultural awareness because if you look at me, I'm not Japanese, but I ended up as president of JCA. And I think it's really great to have people with the same interests and cultures coming together.
As an officer, we had to plan out what activities we're going to do, what performances we're going to have.
You can find out more information on JCA by coming out to their meetings every other Wednesday. I'm Marissa Handerhan with Tech Tonight.
Thank you, Marissa. President allegations have been circling one of America's most iconic comedians, a man whose reputation for moral wholeness would appear to be golden. Multiple women have accused Bill Cosby of rape over the past 9 years, and it has resurfaced. Cosby denies all allegations and has never been prosecuted. One of his accusers, Barbara Bauman, reached out to the public to tell her story that has been laughed at and shut down for years. Barbara has spoken out in a number of interviews with CNN over the past week. She says when she was a young aspiring actress, she considered him a mentor. She says she was drugged and raped by him when she spent time in his home. When Cosby was asked about the allegations Saturday on NPR, he made no comment and shook his head no to all questions about the allegations thrown his way.
On November 14th, the German Culture Club held their biannual game night. Megan Gray was there for the story.
Hi, I'm Megan Gray, reporting for Tech Tonight, and I'm in Major Williams Hall for the German Culture Club's game night.
Spiel in German means game, and Abend is evening, so game night would be Spieleabend. We do Spieleabend every semester. It's just a nice little social gathering, especially when it comes around exam time. We like to let people decompress, and because we know they're stressed out with homework.
My group is playing a game called Mensch, and it is equivalent to the game Sorry, pretty much exactly the same. The other group is playing a game called Kill Dr. Lucky, and it has some big similarities to the game Clue that a lot of American children play, but there are some distinctive differences. It starts with a dead body and you figure out a way to kill Dr. Lucky versus the opposite way where you are unraveling a mystery in Clue.
Participating in a program like this, the German Culture Club, gives you a different idea of how the world works, and even other cultures, clubs, they kind of open your mind to different new ideas, and that's always good, creative thinking.
Be sure to check out Gobbler Connect for more information on the German Culture Club's next event, which is Nick Day on December 5th. I'm Megan Gray, reporting for Tech Tonight.
Thank you, Megan. Disaster was averted in Indonesia. A 7.1 magnitude earthquake erupted in Indonesian waters Saturday morning, which left potential for tsunami waves to hit the coast. Luckily, the seismic activity only generated a 9-centimeter wave, inflicting no damage to the small island of Joloto. This is a huge contrast to the tsunami that hit the region 10 years ago that led to the deaths of 230,000 people. Despite the intensity of the quake, citizens of Indonesia and other Pacific islands can be thankful that nothing completely terrible happened.
On November 12th, Old Crow Medicine Show performed in Tech's own Burris Hall. Juliana Hill was there for the story.
Hi, I'm Juliana Hill with Tech Tonight, and we're inside Burris Hall where the Old Crow Medicine Show concert is about to begin. On November 12th, Virginia Tech Union presented a concert featuring famous American string band Old Crow Medicine Show. The concert took place inside Burris Hall Auditorium and was attended by thousands of students and people from the community. Doug Molly is the director of web and graphic design for VTU and shared a little bit of the planning process that went into bringing Old Crow Medicine Show to campus, which has been in the works since the beginning of the semester.
So what we start off with is just a public council, programming council meeting where we talk about like different ideas we have, and then the director of Lively Arts is the one that booked this concert in particular. So we just review it with the other directors, and if it's a good idea, we go through that. We have a middle agent that helps us out, and so if everything works out, if the contract goes through, then we just find a date and a place to put it, and yeah.
The 7-member bluegrass band played old and new hits, energetically jumping, dancing, and strumming throughout their performance. They closed the show with their classic hit Wagon Wheel, which many consider the anthem of the South. Caitlin Forbush bought her ticket weeks in advance and arrived to Burris Hall as soon as the doors opened at 6:30.
Caitlin, are you a big Old Crow Medicine Show fan?
I am. I come from kind of sort of Southwest Virginia. I live about 20 minutes outside of Roanoke. And so like bluegrass, folk music, country music is very, very big where I grew up. So this whole scene is like very familiar to me. We have shows nearby my house all the time. And this is the first time that I've gone to like someone as big as Old Crow before, but definitely like heard them growing up and things like that. So I'm excited.
Continuing VTU's reputation for putting on great shows, Old Crow Medicine Show was no exception. At Burris Hall, I'm Juliana Hill, Tech Tonight.
Thanks, Juliana. The State Department has taken steps to shutting down all of its unclassified email system while technicians repair possible damage from what they believe to be a hacker attack. A senior department official said Sunday that the suspicious activity was detected in the system at the same time as an incident that was reported targeting the White House computer network. A fair amount of agencies, including the U.S. Postal Service and the National Weather Service, reported similar attacks. The official explained that none of the State Department's classified systems were affected and that all of its systems will be operating as normal soon. The official would not discuss who might be responsible for the breach. Previous attacks have been blamed on Chinese and Russian attackers. However, their origin has never been publicly confirmed.
On November 15th, the Virginia Tech women's soccer team hosted the first round of the NCAA tournament. Maggie Tyler has more on the story.
Hi, my name is Maggie Tyler, and I'm here with Tech Tonight, and we're at Thompson Field, where the Virginia Tech women's soccer team is playing in their first round of the NCAA tournament. The Virginia Tech women's soccer team is currently ranked 14th in the nation and hosted the first round of the NCAA tournament on Saturday, November 15th. They plowed over Dayton 4-0, and with this win, they advanced to the second round of the tournament for the fourth time in the last 6 years. The Hokies set the tone early in the game, showing strong defense and quickly tallying 4 points in the first half. After a successful first half, the Hokies were able to give some of their starters rest in preparation for next week's second-round game. The Hokies are looking to make another appearance to the College Cup and will face Georgetown next Friday at Penn State.
Maggie Tyler here at Thompson Field, Tech Tonight.
Thank you, Maggie. The country of Japan has slipped into an unexpected economic recession. One of the world's largest economies has shrank for the second straight quarter. The economic drop is the country's largest since 2011, when Japan suffered an earthquake and a tsunami. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe is expected to delay the proposed sales tax increase through a snap election. The growing sales tax was originally installed by the Japanese government to help wean the country's national debt.
On November 7th, Virginia Tech sorority Alpha Delta Phi hosted their philanthropy to raise money for the Ronald McDonald House. Caroline Cleary has more on the story.
I'm Caroline Cleary with Tech Tonight, and I'm here at Oak Lane where Alpha Delta Pi is hosting their safari hunt. 80 Pi's Safari Hunt is a yearly philanthropy event where sororities and fraternities compete against one another throughout the week in order to raise money and gain points for the competition. We spoke to Lena Shehab, a sister of 80 Pi, about the cause. So what are you raising money for today?
It's for the Ronald McDonald House, which provides a place to stay for parents whose children are in the hospital and they can't otherwise be with their kids.
Today's event, and the last one of the philanthropy, is the field games where competing teams race against each other in different activities. So what sort of games are you doing today?
What's going on right now is an obstacle course, and they do a wheelbarrow walk, up to the person sitting in the chair, and then one of the 80 Pi sisters gets pied in the face. You can donate online, and you all should.
I'm Caroline Cleary, Oak Lane, Tech Tonight.
Thank you, Caroline. A new jet created by a 3D printer is taking the skies. Next generation engine called the LEAP is constructed by super precise parts using high-powered laser beams in a process called additive manufacturing. In other words, 3D printing. Engineers are improving engines, including manufacturing fan blades out of strong, light carbon fiber so the lightweight will burn less fuel. They've also designed special gear systems that allow the turbine to spin faster and save fuel. This will cut fuel consumption as much as 15%, reduce noise levels by 70%, and shrink emissions by more than 50% compared to today's engines. This new magic carpet is predicted to replace aging aircraft and be the new face of airline in the near future.
Safe Walk started in Roanoke, Virginia on Friday to help prevent crimes against women. The event was a collaboration between the Roanoke Police Department as well as the Hollins University chapter of Help Save the Next Girl. Morgan Harrington's mother was on site to help promote the positive message of the event. Flyers were also passed out to increase the awareness of missing young women in the area. Police and volunteers stayed outside in the freezing weather in an effort to educate the community on the issue as much as possible. Stay tuned for your entertainment news.
Congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now.
Well, have you tried saving?
Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.com.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
Checking your fantasy league? Nah, just my 401k statement.
I can't seem to save anything.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
That's low, that's low.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextstoprex.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Do your part. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Hi, I'm Becky Schumar.
And I'm Erin Miller with your entertainment news.
Diem Brown, MTV's Real World and Road Rules Challenge star, passed away last Friday after battling cancer. The 32-year-old died after the cancer found in her stomach and colon spread to her liver and lymph nodes. This was her third battle with cancer after she bravely faced it in 2006 and 2012. Brown blogged about her journey to defeat cancer on People and through social media. She mostly posted hospital selfies that showed how grateful she was to have the support of her family and friends. Brown became the founder of the charity MedGift, which allows patients to create a gift registry so that loved ones can contribute. Her optimism and strength during her battle with cancer has made Brown an inspiration. Diem Brown is survived by her father, 2 sisters, and brother.
It is so refreshing when there's a woman in the public eye who is not obsessed with her weight and how big or small the number on the scale is. Singer Jessie Decker knows what famous women go through after having a baby, and it is not fun. The public expects all new mommies to lose their baby weight right after giving birth, but that is very unrealistic. Decker sets the record straight that she is not killing herself to lose weight because it's ridiculous. She is more focused on being the best wife and mother she can be to both husband Eric Decker and daughter Vivian Rose Decker. The Redneck Island co-host told E! News that she ordered chocolate chip cookies at the hotel with milk, and I'm going to eat what I want. Not only is she beautiful on the outside, but on the inside as well, keeping a great role model for all women out there, Jessie.
Mockingjay Part 1, the third film in the Hunger Games series, came to theaters today, November 21st. Based off the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins, Mockingjay follows the aftermath of the devastating Quarter Quell. Katniss Everdeen, played by actress Jennifer Lawrence, is forced to make a decision that could sway the fate of the nation. This film is expected to make $155 million during the opening weekend alone, and $393 million total.
From watching The Voice and looking at his Twitter account, it is no secret that Blake Shelton is hysterical. But sometimes people wonder, is Shelton this childish all the time? The band Perry confirms the question by saying yes. Being on tour with Shelton, the band Perry opens up about what life is like on the road. Lead singer Kimberly Perry says that being out on tour with Blake is like being at a summer camp because he is always making everyone laugh and have fun, especially when he plays basketball in between the buses. It is always important to have someone who doesn't take work too seriously, but it is nice to see his soft side too. For both sides of Blake Shelton, be sure to watch him on The Voice as well as listen to his new CD, Bringing Back the Sunshine.
An open audition for The Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare will be held on Sunday, November 30th, and Monday, December 1st from 6 to 10 p.m. Callbacks will be the following Tuesday and Wednesday at 6 to 10 p.m. Those who wish to audition are asked to prepare a 1 to 2 minute Shakespeare monologue memorized. Rehearsals will begin in February, and the show will run April 15th to 25th. Sign-up sheets are posted on the Henderson Hall call board just off the main office.
Celebrities always seem to be outdoing one another to see who can generate the most talk from fans and the media. First, we have Miley Cyrus swinging from wrecking balls. Then we have Kim Kardashian standing completely naked in baby oil. But my particular favorite celebrity to talk about at the moment is Taylor Swift. People always like to call Swift boy crazy and make comments about how she can never stay in a relationship for a long amount of time. Rather than take it to heart, Swift goes to writing record-breaking songs, and I love it. In her most recent music video, Blank Space, Swift pokes fun at herself by saying she is crazy and can fill her blank space of being single with anyone's name. In her music video, she goes on to having a seemingly normal relationship before she ruins it and starts acting crazy and hitting his car with a golf club and cutting his pictures with a knife. But hey, the girl looks gorgeous doing it, so I can support the video. I can't wait to see what she comes up with next. Stay tuned for your sports news.
Do your part. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food.
Checking your fantasy league? Nah, just my 401k statement.
I can't seem to save anything.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
That's slow. That's slow.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextstoprex.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
Congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now.
Well, have you tried saving?
Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Hi, I'm Andrew Oja.
And I'm Lexi Johnson with your sports news. Saturday's matchup between Mississippi State and Alabama was a highly anticipated game. Down 25-13 with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Dak Prescott, the quarterback for the Mississippi State Bulldogs, was on his way to his winning drive when suddenly Alabama's defensive back, Landon Collins, caught an interception which put them in a position to score a 6-yard touchdown. The final score was 25-20, knocking Mississippi down to the number 4 seed and moving Alabama up to the number 1 seed.
Giancarlo Stanton and the Miami Marlins have agreed on a new contract that's going to make the 25-year-old the richest player in baseball and keep him in Miami for quite some time. The star right fielder just inked a 13-year deal worth $325 million that includes a full no-trade clause and the ability to opt out after just 5 years. This past season, Stanton led the National League in home runs and slugging percentage, despite having his year cut short after being hit in the face by a fastball in September. His numbers were also impressive enough to earn him second place in the National League MVP voting, behind only Clayton Kershaw. Stanton gave the Marlins some flexibility by agreeing to backload his contract, with over 2/3 of the money coming after his first 6 seasons. This move will free up salary cap space and give Miami a chance to build a winning team around their young all-star.
Wisconsin running back Melvin Gordon set the record for the NCAA Football Bowl Subdivision single-game rushing yards Saturday against Nebraska. He holds the record at 408 rushing yards. The previous record holder, LaDainian Tomlinson, set the record at 406 in 1999. Gordon was able to complete this record with only 25 carries in the game. He has a total of 1,909 rushing yards. Because Gordon set this record, the Badgers now hold the leading record over the FBS rushing records.
Kevin Harvick took home the checkered flag in his first NASCAR Sprint Cup championship at Homestead Miami Speedway this past Sunday. The chase for the Cup came down to the final 4 drivers as Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Newman, and Harvick fought for the win in this season's final race. Harvick, who had to win the previous weekend in Phoenix just to get into the Final 4, may have had some momentum on his side. He was neck and neck with Newman and Hamlin down the stretch, but was able to pull away in the final 3 laps to take home the championship. He was joined on the podium by Tony Stewart, who is the co-owner of Stewart-Haas Racing, where Harvick moved prior to the start of this season after spending the first 13 years of his career with Richard Childress Racing.
This past Sunday, the Rams' defense was a force to be reckoned with. The Broncos' offense had a hard time getting past the Rams' defense. The Rams shut the Broncos down, pressuring Peyton Manning play after play. Finally, in the fourth quarter, Aaron Donald sacked Peyton Manning, ending the game in a glorious 22-7 victory. This was the lowest point total for the Broncos since Manning joined in 2012.
The NFL has suspended Vikings All-Pro running back Adrian Peterson for the remainder of the 2014 season and possibly beyond. Peterson pled no contest on November 4th to misdemeanor reckless assault for disciplining his 4-year-old son with a wooden switch. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, who has received a lot of heat for not doling out harsh enough punishments for domestic violence, showed no leniency in his ruling this time. Peterson, who already hasn't played since Week 1, will miss at least the Vikings' remaining 6 games. However, the NFL's collective bargaining agreement gives Peterson the right to appeal his suspension, and the NFL Players Association has already announced their intent to do so. Peterson's case has sparked the public debate over corporal punishment, which is still used in some schools in America, though thankfully it is on the decline.
Okay, so Adrian Peterson, not only did he get charged with child abuse, but he also is smoking marijuana.
Yeah, he really has had kind of a down year, I guess you'd say, for Peterson. But, you know, everybody gets their second chance in life, so we'll see what he can make out of this, I guess.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to see how he's going to overcome this strange battle.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Roger Goodell cracking down on domestic violence, though. It's a good change of pace for him. So
absolutely.
That's nice. That's all for Tech Tonight. I'm Andrew Roja.
And I'm Lexi Johnson. Tune in next week.